The author's opinions on GH are his and his alone. They're suitably scathing, fairly humorous, and normally bang on target. When it comes to General Hospital, every fan has their own opinion, and SoPub is no different. For 5 days, we sat and watched the good, the bad, and everything in between. And now we offer you a handy review and a cheeky critique of the GH week that was, man. There sure were some understatements being bandied about this week on General Hospital. Like how Carly, Laura Wright, and Drew, Cameron Matheson, are guilty when it comes to insider trading, more her than him. But let's not quibble. And how this whole SEC situation is an untenable one. Though I'm not sure that the GA scriptwriters intended for that one to land as well as it did, but probably the best ones were in relation to Harmony. She had her faults, you're damn right she did, and they included subjecting Willow, Caitlin McMullen, to sexual abuse at the hands of a cult leader. And there was the man she killed and the women she attempted to kill, which included Willow's beloved mommy figure, Carly, Laura Wright. Speaking of Carly, I have to admit that she mightily impressed me with her blistering excoriations of Michael, Chad Duell, who shouldn't need reminding of the dangers posed by Sonny, Maury Spinard, not being in a position of power, and Jocelyn, Eden McCoy. And I must admit that I laughed out loud when, following Carly's stomping all over the flash drive containing the evidence against Sonny, Jocelyn's first act was to bellow, "You just condemned Dex, even Hofer." Not Carly herself, but Dex was who Jocelyn was most concerned about. Circling back to the subject of dialogue that really rankled, I couldn't help but blanch at Jocelyn stone-facedly insisting that she and Cameron, William Lipton, had drifted apart, when the issue was Jocelyn getting hot and bothered over Dex, and Drew offhandedly dismissing any trauma that Scout might endure were he to go to prison because she hadn't even remembered him the last time he returned to her life. Huh? What? I'm also still scratching my head over the need to add Yuri, Cyrus Hobby, to Laura, Ginny Francis, and Kevin's, John Lindstrom, Russia-bound entourage, considering it was only last Thursday that Valentine, James Patrick Stewart, resolved to accompany her to the Red Country *. I can most definitely get behind a Jordan, Tanisha Harper, and Zeke, Gavin Houston pairing, especially in light of all the potential sordid-ish interplay. He's the brother of her ex-husband's new wife, and he's been made aware of the fact that she recently smooched his aforementioned brother-in-law. Now that's just juicy. As to Jordan's new position as interim deputy mayor, if her track record as police commissioner is anything to go by, Port Charles will soon be going to hell in a handbasket. This Ned, Wally Kurth, this is why you don't run near a pool. And only Ned could smack himself unconscious, not by slipping on water, but by tripping over a very dry, easily spottable towel. Truth be told, I actually kind of like Mason, Nathaniel Gray. I see in him the potential to follow in the footsteps of such great soap opera scallywags, those alternately terrifying and lovable rogues as Billy Clyde Tubble, Mark O'Dane, Roger Thorpe, and Brad Vernon. If only Chris and Dan and Chris would figure out a way to cross-pollinate the character with other townsfolk instead of limiting his interactions to Ava, Maura West, and Austin, Roger Howarth. Have him slither on into Christina's, Kate Mancy, and Sasha's, Sophia Matson, orbit. Have him avail himself to scheme Queen Tracy, Jane Elliott. Have him make himself indispensable to Spencer, Nicholas Alexander Chavez. Something, anything.